Hi everyone, it's me, the JS Living. I am back again. This is our third video, so I'm super excited and I'm glad you guys keep coming back for more videos. I wanted to discuss something that, I think that it's important for everyone, and I know I say that everything's important, but that's because I'm talking about topics that I just feel like we don't get enough of in society. So our monthly theme is again navigating familial expectations. The theme for this week is feeling like you belong, but more specifically feeling like you belong within your own family, within your own skin, just in general feelings of belonging. So on today's video, we're going to discuss Elizabeth Bathory Tepish's family tree. I'll talk a little bit about my family tree, and then we're going to kind of talk about how feeling like you belong can make or break your relationship with your family. So I think we're going to do all those. Give me one moment because I just realized that I forgot something that I actually need for this episode, so I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm sorry about that. I had forgotten my whiteboard and I just realized that I needed this in order to discuss the topic for today. So anyways, back to what I was saying. Give me a minute, get back in my spots. Feeling like you belong in your family, in your skin, it is good. It's a good thing. Like, you want to feel like you belong no matter who you with, no matter where you go. And if you don't feel like you belong, then it's probably not the place for you. You're probably wondering why I've got on black lipstick and gray, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you guys, this is 90% of my wardrobe. Grays, blacks, my whole closet, just dark clothes. My family's brighten up your life, look a little bit more, not peppy, because they know I'm typically a peppy person, but my wardrobe doesn't match it because on deep on the inside, I've always been drawn to dark colors and things. So that's just me. But sometimes when they critique it, it makes me feel like I'm the oddball in the family, and my mom will tell me all the time, Jaleesa, you are all the way out there in left field. Which, some things maybe, but I swear, what I think in my head makes sense. So I don't think that's too bad. But sometimes I do kind of feel out of place in my own family because, first of all, my closest sibling is 5 years older than me. So I'm already the only person in my box. And then my next closest sibling is my cousin, and she's somewhere between 3 and 5 years younger than me. My oldest niece is 10 years apart from me. So I mean, just I'm kind of the only person in my box. And when I was growing up and in school and stuff, I was too, mind wise, I was too old for my peers, but too young for my family and siblings. And so it's this awkward limbo place. So yeah, it's hard to feel like you belong when you're in a weird place. And so I know in an earlier episode I was talking about how some of you might be in families full of doctors, and maybe you don't want to be a doctor, and that kind of makes you the odd one out, and so you might feel like you don't belong there. But that can actually make or break the relationship with your family, because if you let those differences, if you let that anger boil and fester inside of you, and you don't talk it out with them, and you don't tell your family how you feel, then you're probably not going to have a great relationship with your family. So it's very important to be open and honest in communication with family, with friends, and most definitely and most importantly with yourself. I don't think that you can have a good relationship if you're not honest about who you are and how you feel. And if you feel left out, or if you feel like you don't belong, that's something you need to discuss with whomever it is you're talking to. So I don't care if it's your mom, your brother, your sister, your spouse, auntie, uncle, cousin, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you let them know how you feel so that you can feel like you belong and you can feel like you're a part of the group. That's not to say that you have to be. This is advice for people who want to feel like they belong and who are seeking that like better bond and better relationship. If you're one of those people who you're like, I really don't care, I'm gonna do me regardless, like that's great too. Do you, boo. Do you. The important thing is that you feel comfortable in your own skin and you feel comfortable with whomever you're around. On that note, I'm going to read the prologue from The Blood Queen, which is book 2 in my series, The Blood Quest. You can purchase this on Amazon or on the other affiliate websites. I have a Linktree account, all that stuff. You can find all the links either in this video, or you might be able to, or you can find them on my website, my Instagram account, any of my social media. Everything's under the JS Living, so it's really not that complicated if you're interested. Eventually, probably next year, this prologue will be available for free on my website. So if you want to wait like a whole year, you can do that too. Anyways, I'm gonna read now. I know that, like all the other ones, this letter will never be answered. That is fine. Or maybe it is not. All I know is that something happened today that has changed my life forever. In short, while I was training with Andre to hone my skills, I drained a man. Not of his blood, which one would expect of a vampire, but of a soul. How do I know? Perhaps it was the tingling sensation in my body, or the smell of something so irresistible that it could not be mere blood. Regardless of how I knew, the point is that a man may be dead. I say may because I am not sure. One minute I was learning to control my bloodlust, and the next I was grabbing a soul out of a man's chest. Sweet, sour, bitter, salty, and so many other flavors burst in my mouth the moment that I bit into it. I considered thanking him for the meal, but his eyes were devoid of emotion. He passed out for a while and then came to. When he asked where he was, I just told him that he was safe as I continued to devour his soul. Father and Andre had to pull me away. They had to physically force me to let go of his hold, but I did not want to. I guess that is why Father and Andre have locked me in my room. They're discussing what to do with me. Words such as slua and tribrid are being thrown around. I know what the latter means, but what is the former? I am unfamiliar with the term, but because your name is intertwined with it, I assume that it is some trait that I get from you. You left me here with 2 men who have little to no idea of who or what I am. But that is the fate that life dealt me. I am 20 years old, so you would think that they would have the respect to include me in a conversation about my life. But I guess when you're dealing with vampires, you cannot be sure of anything. I guess if I want to find the answers, I can only rely on myself. In any event, Mother, or should I call you Elizabeth, I hope that all is well. I would not know since I am never allowed outside of this God-forsaken mansion. The only reprieve that I have is Dimitri. I'm so happy that Father has not discovered our relationship of 2 years. Dimitri is saving up money so that he can have a proper station before asking Father for my hand in marriage. I would like to assume that if you were here, you would be on my side. But who is to say? I would help Dimitri procure the funds myself, but he said that as a man he should be able to provide for me. He works shifts both here at the house and in town. He thinks that he'll be able to have the funds in 10 years, but I told him if he does it sooner, then I would give him a special surprise. I cannot say what it is now, but we shall see how that goes. Speaking of Dimitri and marriage, when did you know that Father was the one for you? When did you know that you wanted a child with him? Or was I not part of the picture? Since you do not answer any of our inquiries, and since you refuse to tell us where you are, I am left to my own devices when it comes to these things. My door has been unlocked and Father and Andre's whispers have turned to silence. I suppose this means that they are finished speaking about the matter, and that they would now like to clue me into my fate. I'll write you another time and let you know how it went. Until then, be safe. Elizabeth Bathory Tepish. So I don't know about you guys, But in my opinion, I feel like here EBT is just like all in her feelings. Like she's like, I'm a vampire, you know, but they're throwing around this other term, slua, don't know what that is, you know, like this is coming from your side. Who am I? What am I? I ate a soul. Someone might be dead. Like, what's going on? So I feel like in that regard, she's very much like, do I belong here? And I think these kinds of questions are like part of the reason why she actually goes out and searches for her mother in the first book, is because she doesn't have the answers to these questions at the time that she's writing these letters. She doesn't know if she belongs in her family. All she knows is that she's different from everybody around her. Pretty much grows up with just vampires. I don't know if I told you guys this, but she's like part Dhampir vampire, and Dhampirs are the only vampires that can procreate. So, you know, if that's who you grow up with, but that's not who you are, or if that's not all you are, then like all these other things come into question. And so like with no one to answer those questions, it's kind of like it puts a strain on the relationship between her and her father. I don't know, I just feel like that sense of belonging and being in a relationship with your family, or having a good relationship with your family, like all of that is intertwined. So real quick, I'm gonna kind of like give you guys like an idea of what her family tree looks like. Please forgive me, like I don't have it all memorized. Like I actually have a chart like elsewhere. Maybe I'll post that as a bonus content one day on my website, probably sometime soon, just so you can get an idea of what it looks like. But essentially, and you know, I'm gonna throw in some information that I've had from other places. But so like you have, oh no, my marker is not working now, guys. It was just working a second ago. I'm sorry, guys. Well, I guess I can't do that, but next time definitely. What I'll probably do is I probably will post the family tree on my website, and then we'll throw in a link at a later date for you guys to click on so that you can see it. But essentially it goes like this. So you have Elizabeth Bathory. She's got like 3 or 4 other sisters, but she has a child with Vladimir Tepish, or Dracula, but she also ends up having children with Farak Nadasti. So then like with her, you have Elizabeth Bathory, Dracula, and then you have Elizabeth Bathory Tepish, who is supposed to get married to Dmitri, but doesn't, for reasons that you will discover or have already discovered in the books. And then on Dracula's side, you have like the whole entire Tepish line, which we're not even gonna get into right now. I haven't done nearly enough research to get into that whole family tree, but rest assured, when I write his story, there will be a family tree for that too. So this is like an ongoing project. Dracula has other children, so she's got brothers from her dad's side as well. But she doesn't get to meet any of these people. She doesn't know any of these people, so she's really confused about who she is and where she belongs. And I think that's kind of like why in book 2 she does a lot of the things that she does. I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to have too many spoilers, but let's just say that some of her decisions aren't very wise. And again, it plays back into that I have to have everything when I want it, however I can get it, and it's because if I don't grab it now, it's gonna disappear forever. And I think that like when you have that mentality, it's all part of like, it's all about like how you grew up, who you grew up with, who influenced your life, and how well were your relationships done. So I guess I'm getting close to out of time. Oh, I did want to make one other note. I'm pretty sure I said this at the beginning of the video. And if I didn't, then I'm gonna throw in this tidbit now. So like my family, they don't like black lipstick on me. Like even my husband is like, no, don't do the black lipstick. I don't like it. They don't like my black lipstick. They don't like my blue lipstick either. I love my black and blue lipsticks. I love my wildly colored hair. I love my like big old hair bows that don't really fit my head because I have a tiny head with little tiny ears that you can't see right now. But these are things that make me happy. These are the things that make me fit and make me feel like I belong in my own skin. And so, like I said earlier, like that's the most important thing. And so while EBT doesn't feel like she belongs, I think that by the end of the series, she will get there. And I hope that you guys get there too, whether that's in your own skin or again with your families or friends, whomever it might be with. Like, just want you guys to feel like you belong. And if you don't feel like you belong with them, then you probably belong over here all the way in left field with me. That being said, don't forget to go to my website, thejsliving.com, for some additional content if you wish. Yeah, also don't be free to like drop comments in the, well, you know what I'm saying. I'm new to this. You know what I mean. Subscribe, like my videos, post comments, all that good stuff. Okay, I'm going now. I'm tired. Bye.